Namaste, beautiful beings. How's everybody doing tonight? It's so weird to see you on a Saturday. That's awesome. Happy New Year. I know it's the 22nd of January. It feels a little bit late to wish you a happy new year, but 22nd, the year's the 22. I couldn't help but put today's beautiful launch party for this year on this amazing numerological date. And so thank you so much to each and every one of you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you always for being you. And I'm really excited about tonight. I can't wait to connect to all of your energies. And I'm looking at all your beautiful faces, even those of you who are behind the screens. I see some oldies but goodies, some I haven't seen in a very long time. Welcome home, welcome back. I love you all. And for those of you I saw yesterday or the day before that I see every time I put on my Zoom, thank you always for being here and for being you. I love you guys too. There is so much to be joyful about tonight. And I hope that you can feel that energy, that quality, that wonderful substance of joy already starting to pump through you, because this is a year for joyful beingness. And I have many messages for you from my guides and my guardians about the things to focus on this year to keep you in your highest and most brightest light, and how to be of service in the world, and of course, how to love more and more, and how to create some phenomenal abundance for yourselves. But I really wanted to start tonight's program off, first of all, by welcoming you, and then jumping right into a beautiful meditation. I want to get some rays pumping into your hearts, your minds, your bodies, your spirits, your lives, your world, your year, and crank you up. Have you guys noticed that one of the themes that I have been hinting at all evening for this beautiful year ahead is a big ball of light and lots of beautiful rays of light coming out of it? Everybody kind of caught that? I hope you also caught that one of the huge themes for this year, as said over and over in our opening meditation, was be the center of the universe. Your universe. Be the center of your universe. As if not being the center of your universe was an option. So let me rephrase that, because I just got corrected by my peeps. Somebody up there just told me I said it wrong. You are, period, exclamation point, highlight, blinky, blinky light. You are the center of your universe. This is not negotiable this year, whether you know it or not, whether you choose to stand in it or not. The position that you will be operating from this year, the place that you will center ground and connect to, and where everything will spring forth from, is the center of you. And you will be the center of your experience in this year. You will be the center of the world that is you. All right. It's a little bit intimidating, the amount of weight that they're putting into this theme for the year, being the center of self, centering the self, center yourself in self, self-centered, self-centered, self-centered. I could say it in a bunch of different ways, but be self-centered. It is essential for you to create your happiness this year. Last year, I can't say it was the opposite. That's not really a fair statement to make, but 2021, the energy was be centered literally in the violet flame and in the Aquarian age, and be centered in victory. That's really where we were asked to come from last year. This year, we're being asked to take the level of integration from our higher self into our human self to a whole different level. Let me explain it like this. Think back to a moment in time in your spiritual unfolding as you were awakening to the light within you and to the spirit that you are. There was a moment in time when you really grounded into your heart. Now, I don't know if you remember that moment, but there is a point of time in every spiritual journey where you come home to the heart, and that becomes just, number one, I'll use the word again, a sanctuary, a place of healing, a place of loving, place of hiding. Sometimes you can just kind of tuck in there and hide from the rest of the world. And that's kind of nice to do. And to have that safety and the nurturing in the hub of your heart to be able to do that's wonderful. But that moment that your heart pops open and you start to feel the substance of love that you are, it's a game changer in regards to your spiritual unfolding. That probably happened for you guys way back when on your journey. I have no doubt, looking at the beautiful faces on the screen, that you guys have been on this path for a long time. And opening the heart is probably so far back you don't even remember your heart not being opened, right? Because you're just those people. And what we're talking about this year is we have been talking for many years about integrating the higher self, learning from the higher self, how to be like the higher self. And last year, 2021, was not about learning to be like, not making friends with the higher self, literally integrating, merging, meshing, welcoming the higher self to take residence inside of us, and specifically the part of your higher self that is a powerhouse, that is a violet, victorious flame being. And violet flame is one of those rays. I can't say one of those rays. It is the ray for spiritual mastery. That's kind of a tricky statement because they all master something spiritually speaking. But this is like if there was one ray that said, hey, you become an alchemist on this ray. You become a master of spiritual frequencies on this ray. You become comfortable being the invoker of spiritual energies. It would be on the violet flame. That's why it's the last in the 7. It's the final step to self-mastery. It's the culmination of all the alchemy before it. And it's where the balance between your spirit and your physical really, really, really takes place. And you embody that. So what happens after a violet flame year? And that's where we find ourselves now. So last year, and probably for the few years leading up to it, you have been making friends with your higher self, learning about that higher beingness, first finding out about it at a distance, kind of like you would make friends with a guide in spirit. You would get to know them. They would be them. You would be you. And then eventually you kind of like partner and share space together. So you've been working on doing this, again, consciously or unconsciously for quite some time. Then the difference this year becomes not only are we integrated with the higher self, but now we're going to become very connected and familiar to the heart center and the sanctuary, the sacred heart of the higher self, which is a major upgrade, exponentially equivalent to what it felt like when you were on a spiritual journey. And then you were on a spiritual journey when you connected to your actual real heart. Okay. There is something so powerful that happens when you know that you can find the love you've always searched for right here in the heart. This thing you've been searching for eons of time, lifetimes, the substance of love that your soul knows to be true, but you can't quite put your finger on it in this worldly world. The moment you find that, and it's not only that you found it like over there, no, you found it here and it's yours, and you can access that and feel that and tap into it and become it and heal from it and share it and shine it anytime you want. That's like a revelation in your spiritual journey, right? Now we're going to go to the higher self level of that. This year, you are going to be centered in the heart center, not just the heart center, the sacred chamber of the heart center of your higher self. That's where we're coming from. What that means to you might be a little bit different, but here are some of the tips and the things that I'm kind of expecting. Number 1, meaningfulness. And I mean like richness of meaning, not just a little meaning, not just my head thinks there's a meaning here, but like actual, true, tangible, I'm on purpose. There is sacred meaningfulness going on right here, right now, in this mundane, ordinary thing that I'm up to. And then repeat that every day for the rest of the year. I'm in the mundane, I'm doing something, and sacredness is present. Okay, so I'm going to invite you this year to ground in every moment of the year as often as you can. Remind yourself to come from the center of self, the sanctuary of the heart of my highest being. If you be there, then that light is present in this situation, whatever this situation is throughout the year. All right. How many of you guys are friends with Jesus, Lord Sananda, Buddha, Kuthumi, great masters and teachers of this world, the biggest hearts, the most generous beings that you've ever known and met in spirit? This year, you get to operate at that level. This is where they come from every time they come to meet with you. Every time they share their wisdom with you, every time they guide you to something of mastery. You felt this thing before that I'm talking about, and it's probably wiser for me to remind you of that than to try and describe something that your mental mind and your ego mind are going to be like, yeah, I want that. I love your egos too. But there's something that you feel when a beautiful master teacher or world teacher comes into your meditation and is generously outpouring their love and their wisdom to you. There's a substance to this love wisdom that they give you, like their words are infused with energy. So it's not just thoughts that they're transmitting, it's substance. It's energetic substance that is being dispersed, dispensed, distributed, gifted to you, blessed to you. And when you walk away from that experience, you take it with you. You have somehow increased your girth, I guess, because that's the word that's coming to me. The girth of your love increases, having been in their presence, having received that blessing and all of their love. It has weight, it has gravity, it has texture. There's a feeling to it. It's measurable. It has mass. It is physically tangible, touchable, feelable, lovable, connect-toable. You are now going to be creating the same love, wisdom, substance. Write that down on your notepads. Love, wisdom, substance. You are going to be oozing love, wisdom, substance, chi. We can call that chi if you want to. But love, wisdom, substance is going to be oozing from you and dispersing and dispensing itself into all those points of contact that you are going to have in your experiences and in your interpersonal relationships, even in your meditation layers, in your astral travels, in your higher planes of consciousness and awareness. You are going to be producing chi. Now think of this. This might not sound like new to you. If you've always been producing chi and you are aware of that, which by the way, guess what? You have always been producing chi. I'm not taking that away from you. You are chi producers. From the moment you showed up on this planet, you were producing chi. You're creating life force energies, what light workers do. Okay, here's the difference. Doing it from yourself, this self, your human self, who is integrating the higher self, whatever level from 0 to 100 integration that you've achieved. That's one level of being. You are now going to exponentially jump, and you are going to be in the sacred heart of your higher self, producing that love, wisdom, chi. It's just going to be more. And it's not just that it's more in quantity, it's going to be more in quality. The quality is going to be infused with joy. It is going to be living bliss. It is going to be the substance of abundance and goodness. It is going to be shapeable and moldable. It is going to be instructable. It is going to be talk toable. Once you create enough chi, you're going to be able to say, vibrate to this. And then once it's vibrating to this, whatever this is, let's say you want to create more success or more enlightenment. If you say vibrate to enlightenment, then it will vibrate to enlightenment. Vibrate to violet flame, then it will vibrate to violet flame. Pick apart freedom, justice, anything like that. Whatever you set into this substance as its vibration, as you tell it consciously to hold your consciousness and to express your consciousness, then what's going to happen is it is going to become the center of gravity inside of a nucleus of all kinds of connections that are going to pull in towards that center. It is literally going to become, like the law of attraction, the center of its universe. And it is going to draw in and draw in and draw in and draw in like substance. You already do this at an unconscious scale. You are now going to take it exponentially higher this year. What you choose to do with this is 100% up to you. As always, you're the boss of you. But this, my friends, is a phenomenal opportunity. What you focus on, you will create. Now, for those of you who have taken 10,000 classes on manifestation, and they always told you, put your mind to it, mind over matter, and do this and do that, and affirm this and affirm that, and you've done all that work without seeing the results, I want you to hit delete on all of that. Okay? The thought patterns were accurate. The energy of the universe was not lined up to create the product that you were intending to create. So if you have crashed and burned, or you think you failed in some master manifestation class that you took, I want you to do yourself a favor and give yourself another chance. Okay? Doesn't mean you got to pull back on those old tools. I'm asking you to show up from the center of self. See yourself in the golden fuchsia heart sanctuary of your golden radiance, the body of your higher self in you, around you. Upload your human self into that big, beautiful golden beingness and start there. This will not work if you are just being the ego of you, saying, I am a spiritual being. I want to manifest this and this and this and this. You might be successful partially. But the way to really create and master this chi this year is to make the statement. Get your pencils ready. I am that too. I am that too. I am that too. 2022, our theme for this year, our power statement for this year. I am that too. You are not one thing, you are many things. And so whatever you wish to create, it is not enough to say, I wish to create that, as if I'm separate from it. This is a year where we are partners. We are partners with that which we wish to create. We are partners with higher forces. We are partners with the laws of the universe. We are partners with each other. We are partners with the parts of ourselves. So come to your manifestation, come to your meditation, come to your creative selves with the attitude of partnership. And then make the statement from the higher sanctuary of your higher self heart. Connect mentally to that which you wish to create, connect emotionally to that which you create. And from the hara that you can't see on the screen, but I'm pointing at my sacral chakra, connect from the visceralness of your being, from the physicality of your being, the existence of your being, from 3 points of beautiful light, 3 beams of energy. Connect to that which you wish to bring into you and claim it with the statement, I am that too. It's not the statement, I want that. Could I please have it? Hey, universe, if you're not too busy, could you create it for me? Please, 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 please. Hey, Michael. No, we're not making requests like that anymore. And we're certainly not going to beg the universe for anything. We don't do that. Even if we have before. It's not the year for that. This year, we are not only connecting to something, we are claiming our oneness to it. And the mentality needs to match. It's not even that I'm just using a statement from my willpower. It's not just abracadabra, and that's what I get. No, it's a whole beingness embodied in that phrase. I am that too. We have to become aware this year that we are connected to everything. And not just, like I said, connected to it. That is me too. Now let me kind of bring it back to this. If I look at my hand and I say, hey, hand, how's it going? What you doing? Right? This is my hand. If I tell it to wave around and look silly, it doesn't give me a hard time. It doesn't ask me why. It just does what I want it to do. If I tell it to make a peace sign, it's going to make a peace sign. I love you, right? Like I can move it, I can twist it, I can turn it, I can do whatever I want. It's my hand. I have absolutely no doubt that if my mind instructs this hand to do anything, it's going to do it. I have not asked my hand permission to partner with it. I have not written a memo, submitted it to the board of directors of my hand, gotten approval. I have not had a time delay. This is my hand. My hands and I have an understanding. It is me. I am it. We are one. This is mine. I say something, it does it. Everybody understand that? And it's so fast that I don't even realize that I'm telling my hand what to do. It's automatically obeying the will of my being and expressing that will in its movements. It is the living embodiment of my choices that are happening so fast. I don't even realize I made them. Why don't we think the same thing about the universe? Why is the universe in our lower minds always under its own rule, doing whatever it feels like doing? And granted, most of us have some kind of a belief that there's a higher consciousness, a supreme being, a beautiful divine intellect that is somehow the instructor of this universe. That's all fine and good. Totally love that statement. It's absolutely right. But part of the system of the universe is that it's also a part of us. What we will into that field of creation, it is designed to respond to, just like the hand. It doesn't mean that I am superior over the universe. It does not mean that it's inferior to me. It's simply designed that way. I didn't make up the rules. I'm not making this so. I'm not telling it what to do. I'm not being bossy. I'm not falling into a lot of judgment words that humans would probably put out there, like, oh, that's so arrogant, Leanne. I think it's arrogant to think that we don't belong to the universe and that it doesn't belong to us. I think it's arrogant to think that you can survive this place on your own. It's not selfish. It's not arrogant. It's not permissive. It is not lower than. This is a loving universe that is constantly holding you in its love. It is constantly awaiting your will to command it so that it can choose to shape your thoughts, your feelings, your consciousness, your energetics into form, and to use its forces of gravity and creation on your behalf to serve your highest and best good, which also in turn serves the highest and best good of everyone concerned. Ultimately speaking, all of which serves the highest will and greatest good for the divine source. If I, little old me, choose not to partner with the universe, that would be selfish. That would be arrogant. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a little bit trippy in the mind, but this year, we really have to, let me take that statement back. We don't have to do anything. Again, you're the boss of you, but we have the opportunity to become true loving partners with the universe, with the laws and the forces of creation, with this field that is a loving, sacred field. And the only thing that it asks of you this year is to keep your mind focused on the highest and best. Set that today as your intention for this entire year, and it's a once and done thing. You don't have to refresh that statement. The universe will not question you every single moment of every single day, every time you want to partner with it. Are you really aiming for highest and best? Okay, do it once. Take it easy after that. Okay, if you change your mind, update the memo. But until you change your mind, the universe got the point. Okay, allow yourself to be willing to serve your highest and best with the full knowledge and understanding that that serves the highest and best of everyone. Anything that you do this year should be an increase in loving wisdom substance. The year already has that vibration. It's already infused with the chi. It's Play-Doh that just needs to be shaped and molded by anybody who is willing to come from that sacred heart. So my friends, here's one of the hardest challenges you're going to have to face this year. It's a simple question. I've already asked it for 22 days to just about everybody that I have come in contact with. What do you desire the most? What do you desire? What do you desire the most? Here's the next major theme for your year, guys. You can kind of highlight this on your papers. We have a partnership and a relationship with what I am calling desire. Also known as desire, includes this term, wants, needs, wishes, prayers, requests, etc., etc. It goes by a lot of different names. Even hungers, even lacks, right? I lack, I long for. There's a great word in French, but I don't know if you guys speak French, just in case. And if you do, forgive me if I'm messing this up, but in envie, Jean-Guy, like I long for it, like with my entire devotion, I long for this. I love that word, longing. It implies that there's devotion in there, that there's meaning in it, that there's reasons behind it, not just for self-service, but for service of self. Lower self-service. I wish I could write what I see in my mind on paper for you. Like lowercase self-service is not the game. Service of self, all capitals. That's what we're talking about. It requires great courage to be able to step up and say, I choose to serve my higher self this year. The higher self has passions and longings to serve the light of this world, the people of this world, the needs of this world. All we're doing this year is that we are asking to serve the longings that our higher self has, the reasons you came here. Now, if you don't know what those reasons are, meditate, ask. It will all be revealed to you this year with ease and grace, without any complications. Okay? What did I come here to serve? Great question. Ask the question and go silent. Listen. But don't just listen from here. Get into that sacred heart of your higher self. Step through that gateway. Notice how I got to the gateway with you in this meditation. First thing we did was we turned on the violet flame until it was all penetrating, all permeating everywhere. And then we set our minds in front of us and the spark appeared. Right? And like I said, this is going to be recorded for you so you guys can go back to it again and again if you choose to. Even if you don't do the whole thing, you can use the first 5 minutes just to go through the gateway and then do something else afterwards. So as you go through that gateway and you step into the desires, the devotion of your higher self's heart, there's a richness there, there's joy there, there's bliss there, there's love there, there's no thing other than love, joy, bliss, empowerment, etc., goodness. Okay? If you feel yourself in a state of lack this year, I want you to pay attention to it. What do you really think you're lacking? Because oftentimes your feelings of lack and insufficiency and not enoughness, when you get those things, oftentimes the instinct is to run like hell in that direction. I'm going to tell you to hold still. Talk to it. What am I longing for in this moment? What do I want more of? What do I truly desire? I would really like you to heal your relationship with desire this year. This is not the last time you're going to hear me talking about this. It's going to be in the programs for the year. Healing your relationship with your desire. What consciousness do you have that's preventing you from having a healthy relationship with your desire? Do you suppress your wants? Do you suppress your needs? Do you honor those cravings from your humanity or from your spirituality? As you learn to come from this higher self and you learn to partner with that higher desire, you're going to notice that even your human gut instincts are designed as an intuitive emotional system. In other words, your desires, your wants, your cravings are actually an intuitive tool, no less significant than your third eye chakra. And to deny the desires of your being is equal to denying your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, and any other chakra that you love, including the heart. So we need to make friends with desire this year. We need to understand it from a higher perspective. We have to notice that's something inside of the soul that says, that's a good path for me. Pursue that. Follow that. Now, if you are focusing on worldly desires with the exclusion of spiritual devotion, you'll probably create a really great life. But if your greatest desire is to align with the higher purpose of your being and with the heart of the master that you are, then you need to bring the worldly success into the spiritual success and make them partners, make them one. Okay? Do not deny worldly success this year. And trust me when I say this year is going to be cleaning out your relationship with success, including worldly success, including finances, abundance, increasing your businesses, creating the dreams that you've been looking to create. This is the year for cleansing those things. Okay? Do not be surprised if you get maneuvered from somewhere comfortable but not self-serving, capital self-serving. If you don't follow the instincts to get out of there and find something that serves yourself, the universe will jump in and help you do that. Not to hurt you, but it is going to gently, gracefully maneuver you into a different space. So guys, the way to get through this the most gracefully is to be proactive about it. When you start noticing resistance, angst, anxiety, those are little hints that you are not following your greatest devotion and desire. Again, intuitive feelings, messengers of your higher self. So do not just discard them. Do not gripe about them and think that they're uncomfortable. Start tuning into them. Start listening. Journal. Meditate. What is being communicated here? All right. This is going to be a year of practicing being really present with yourself. Not being afraid of your shadow spaces. Getting right into them and bringing your big bright light and saying, I am actively participating in the transformation of this shadow space. If you are avoidant of your shadows, or the dark night of your soul, or change, or transformation, or movement, or challenge, you are going to have a tougher year. Okay? Become comfortable with movement. Become comfortable flowing. Become comfortable changing. And start feeling intuitively the guidance system of your devotion and your desire that is always honed in on the destination of your highest and best and most loving version of you. The message from the Blu-ray this year: trust that part of you. Trust your inner senses. If you have a hard time trusting your senses, call on the Blu-ray to help you refine those trusts and to help you build courage as you go through challenges and changes. But trust yourself. Again, that's the capital self. Trust yourself. That's going to be a really big one this year. Trust yourself. The message from the yellow ray, along the lines of that beautiful statement, I am that too. Remember, that's our power. That's our abracadabra for the year. This is our power statement for the year. That's the mentality, the energetics, the beingness that we want to embody and feel and intend every single second of this year. I am that too. You want to be friends with God? I am that too. I am God too. You want to hang out with Archangel Michael and know what he's talking about? I'm that too. Michael and I, we're one. Okay? Intuition is not something you do. If you want to be intuitive, I am that too. I am intuition. Very different statement than I do intuition. And that's the upgrade this year. Whatever you think you do, I need you to bring it into the beingness of you. I am that. Happiness is not something you experience. It's not a result of some group of causes. No, you're happy when you vibrate to happiness. I am happiness. It's not a transient feeling. That's an ego feeling. And yes, that happens to exist in that ego vocabulary. That's not what I'm talking about this year. I am happiness. I am that too. The next statement behind it, by the way, and I'll come back to the yellow ray in 1 second because I'm on a tangent here. The next thought pattern that keeps coming to me after I say that statement, I am that too. The next part of that statement is, and there is nothing else. I am happiness. And there is nothing that is not happiness. Happiness is. I am love too. Love is. As a matter of fact, there is no such thing as not love in the highest truths. Victoriousness, same thing. I am victorious too. I am victory too. Victoriousness is. There's no such thing as not victorious. There's like no room. There's no space that does not hold this vibration in the wholeness of being. It's all one thing. So to have it in one thought means it's in every thought. To have it in one feeling means it permeates the entire field of creation. To have it in existence, for it to actually exist, it only takes one. to be the existence of that, for it to exist for all people. Okay, so take that into it. The yellow ray, which is the ray of higher learning and spiritual unfolding and all kinds of beautiful things that shine this light into the shadows. If you want a message from the yellow ray, remember, light is not something you do. I said in one of my programs at the end of last year, and it kind of stuck with me, that, we call ourselves light workers, and forever I've not loved that word light worker, but it's a term we use, so I go with it. Some people prefer to say light bearers, but to me that means, I just carry something. It's okay, fine, that's great. But I was saying to everybody, why does doing light have to be work? It shouldn't be work, it should just be fun. And I said, I wish we could have a word instead of light workers, be light funners, but that doesn't make any sense in English. But the message that got conveyed was really up there. And so the yellow ray statement for this year is, I am one with the light. I am the light itself. There is no such thing other than light. Light, I am that too. Light is not something you shine, something you are. Be the light. From the pink ray, the message for the year, again, along the same lines of I am that too. Same statement as the yellow, but for love. Love, substance, love, wisdom, substance, love, wisdom, substance. There's no part of you that is not the substance of love and consciousness. You are the substance, the existence of loving consciousness. I am that too. So be love, be chi. I am that too. And then shape it. Shape it, shape it, shape it, form it, express it, vibrate it, share it, shine it, do whatever you want with it, play with it, change the attitude to playfulness, and have some fun with the love that you are. Enjoy it. From the white light, a power statement that I have not heard from them in a very long time, but that I absolutely love and adore. And Joelle, you probably will remember this as my theme song from the White Ray back in the days when we were all in the church, which was the Church of Hope, which was so much fun. And my White Ray theme song was from the movie The Musketeers, All for One and One for All. And I loved it. Bryan Adams and Sting and Rod Stewart got together, and man, I couldn't listen to that song enough. And it's been years since I've been thinking about that. But this year, when I tuned into the White Ray, I said, guys, what is your mantra for the year? What is the directive of the white team for 2022? And they said it again, all for one, one for all. You can take that to mean whatever you like, but I think it means everything. From the green ray, the message again remains the same, but the invitation from the green team is to partner with reality, with the field of creation, with the grids and laws of this universe. And you can affirm and say as often as you wish and practice the consciousness, the energetics, and the love that I am one with energy. I'm one with time. I am that too. I am time too. I am space too. I am the grids too. I am the laws of the universe. They exist. There's nowhere in this universe that is exempt. Just like there's nowhere on this planet that isn't bound by the laws of gravity. Gravity is. I am that too. As simple as that. The laws of the universe are my friends too. Okay? From the golden ruby ray, I am one with service. Serve the self, serve the world. Serve the self. The higher self, all capitals. Serve the world. Impossible to separate the two. From the violet flame, We take it to the level of spirit, source, universe. I am that too. And even as I said that, my eyeballs rolled up, right? Like we oftentimes think of spirit, source, universe, like up there, or out there. And yet in our opening meditation, you were the center of this universe. You were connected through a web of light to every single part of it. It was connected to you too. And there was cohesion. I am that too. For as much as it's part of me, I'm a part of its agenda. And this is a loving relationship. This is a loving partnership. Take a beautiful deep breath, everybody. I am one with self. I am one with spirit. I am one with the universe. I can't take credit for that line. I think it's a beautiful one, but it comes from my Reiki training. Those of you who have been under my hands in a Reiki attunement will probably remember those beautiful words. And I'm not sure if other Reiki masters use them too. But one with self, one with spirit, one with the universe. I am that too. There's no thing that you are not. And the faster we realize that this year, the more we will be blessed and the more we will be able to serve. The service of which I'm speaking is infused with joy. You cannot serve without joy. You cannot have joy without service this year. Okay? This should be fun. This should be full of win-win, victorious blessings, the remnants of last year. All changes will be for the highest and best. All actions and deeds will be for the highest and best. I am that too. If you are healers and you are working on somebody that you are healing something for, or if you are supporting their healing of themselves, which is a more appropriate statement, be careful that you are not separating yourself as if that's that person's thing and I am myself over here. When you are here as a coach, as a lover, as a friend, as a listener of somebody's story, as you seek to be their partner in healing or elevation or learning, be very mindful how you're showing up to those interactions. If you are putting up walls of separation and shields of fear, and many of us do this without knowing it, so check it, right? Like check it out. Don't assume that you don't do that. Assume that you do it. That way you'll check it and you'll make sure that this isn't so. Drop your shields of separation. I am you. You are me. That struggle that you got going on, that's a part of my story too, because clearly you landed on my sofa. You pulled up in my phone. You're now in my universe. I am now present in yours. I am that too. And the great thing about that is if you come to this with that attitude, and you also realize that if you're part of it and the universe is part of you, then that problem is now the universe's problem also. And guess what? You brought your entourage, that is the universe. So it's the whole universe plus you partnering with that person's problem, challenge, situation to transform it. This is a piece of cake. As long as you're not separate from it. As long as you are not making it wrong for existing. As long as you are not trying to bully it with your healing powers. Be in a constant state of higher self-loving, heart-centered service. Bring that person and their problems into the abode of your heart. Work there and expect miracles to happen. Your love is so powerful. The moment we go beyond our fears and our separation and our distancing and our duality, there's nothing left but love, nothing left but wisdom, and nothing left but the substance of that. Love, wisdom, substance. All right? There's no thing other than that. I am that too. breathe. Spend times this year being quiet. Do less, listen more, love more, connect, 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 connect. Constantly, always, effortlessly to the higher self. And especially the sacred heart of the higher self. Shine from there. Be the center of the universe as that. And then desire. What do you desire? What do you desire to create? What do you desire to experience? What do you desire to manifest? What do you desire for yourself and for others? By the way, this year, really important note to self, you are not just going to be working at the level of individuality. You are going to be opening up and connecting into your collective consciousness layers, which means that if you've finished your healing process for yourself and your integration processes for yourself and your clearing work for yourself and your purification this and your purification that and your healing and your healing and your healing and your healing, and you're good to go on you and you're finally happy and you're like, man, it's awesome. I finally get a day off. It's going to be a fun year. We're going to do this. Guess what? The gateways and the veils between the collective layer of your being and the personal onesie layer of your being have opened their doors. And now, having become the experts of the individual personal level of doing all of this stuff, you are now going to be invited to participate in the collective clearing of all those same things times 7 billion people. By the way, you're not going to handle 7 billion people's pain and suffering all in one shot. I promise you. It's going to start with your small groups, your immediates, your inner circles, your family members, your closest friends. It might just happen with your life partner, but you are going to start processing and transmuting energy using the rays, using the same tools that you used on yourself, hopefully a little bit better because now you're good at it. Hopefully a little faster because now you've done it many, many times. But you're going to start noticing the people around you mirroring some of those things you've already healed for yourself. Please, guys, don't lose your minds. Take that as evidence that the collective field is now partnering with you and you're partnering with it. And you don't have to do 100% of the work in this collective field. Just do your part. Do what you're comfortable with and know that you're going to be building some extra muscles. Now, you've probably already noticed this by now. People around you have probably already started hitting your buttons, calling on you for service, asking for your help in things that are perfectly not yours to deal with. And yet, here it comes. They just walked into your space. But remember, I am that too. And if you come to it with the attitude, that's my problem too. That's my challenge too. That's my opportunity too. And if you take it like it's no big deal, like I already know how to cut the cords here. I already know how to balance the chakras here. I already know how to call in the violet ray for this. I already know which member of the team on the rays I should ask for assistance for. And I already know that even if I don't know which ray or who to call on, all I have to do is say, guys, I need some help. And they will figure it out and they'll show up for you. Okay. You just open your channel and you let the appropriate rays and healing come through. The highest energies for the situation are now coming through my channel. And you let it flow. And if you need a refresher on that, then get back in one of my classes if I haven't seen you in a while, and let's refresh. Okay? I'll be happy to remind you who's who and what's what. Okay? When we start operating at the collective, I want you to be mindful of your energy. You're going to be working. Let me describe it like this. This is a perfect way to describe it. This is how Aurora said it to me. She goes, what once felt in the personal level like you have finally become a big fish in your pond, which now seems like a puddle, right? Like the pond you're in and the massive amount of stuff that you needed to learn and deal with about yourself and the things you needed to heal once felt like an ocean and you were a minnow. Same pool, by the way, but that's the perception. It felt like you were in a minnow in an ocean. And now at your personal level, you've achieved a level where you're now the big fish in a puddle. All right, barely enough room to swim around. You got this. It's easy. It's familiar. There's nothing here you can't handle. You know every nook and cranny. You're good to go. But now take that big fish in this little pond and stick it in the ocean that is your collective ocean. By the way, some of the collectives that we're going to be helping to clear through are not only our immediates, but also our soul groups, our cultural level. That's a different statement, by the way. A soul group is one collective. A culture is another collective. Our religions that we've plugged into is a collective group. Our families, including our ancestry, that's a collective. So 1 plus anything above the number 1 is a collective. Okay? You live in a city. There's a collective consciousness in a city. You live in a state. There's a collective of the state. That's why when you go to Miami, it feels like one thing. When you go to New York, it's got a totally different vibe. Everybody contributes to the vibe. There's a collective vibe there. So as you build your collective muscles, and that fish that you are gets to become a bigger fish in a really big pond still, but now you're starting to learn your way around. Take on what you can, but don't worry about taking on the entire ocean. Just like when you were a little guppy in your own pond, nobody told you had to heal the whole thing in one shot. You got the rest of a lifetime and maybe future lifetimes to work on some of these things. And no matter what you contribute of the rays to your collective levels, trust me, you're turning the light on in the world. You're doing a beautiful service and the universe thanks you. So don't stress yourself out. If you got a little bit extra time to pray for the big stuff and the groups and so on and so forth, go right ahead and do it. By the way, do it from, everybody knows what I'm going to say next, right? Everybody knows it. Everybody can answer this question. Do it from the sacred heart center of your beautiful golden higher self. And do it from there in partnership with all of your guides and your guardians, the entire universe that you are. You don't have to intend that every time. Just step into that sacred heart. It's written. It is law. It is what happened. There's no such thing as not partnering with the allness of love and wisdom and substance. And all the guides and guardians are already showing up as your entourage the moment you step into that sacred heart. Okay? So don't work too hard. Be of service to the self of your being. Offer what you can to your collective and build your muscles. Don't take too much responsibility. That's another blue-ray message. Don't be responsible for everybody else's stuff. But for those of us who have skills and who have tools and who are not intimidated by this cleansing, healing process and this spiritual unfoldment, it's kind of our job to do it. We didn't get given these gifts, this wonderful community that backs you up, to sit at home and do nothing. And I know some of you guys have gotten bored with yourselves. There's a sign that says, I desire to be of more service. You want to get out of your universe and out into that universe, a field of infinite potential. Do it with fun. Have some fun. And if you don't like this kind of light work, then do another kind of light work. There's only one kind of light work, by the way, according to me. And that is being you. Just show up. I'm not asking you to deal with entities. I'm not asking you to chase darkness across the universe. I'm not asking you to master chakra balancing for collective consciousness levels. I'm not asking you to cut all the cords of the planetary grids and repair the core and the central themes and all these things. I'm not asking you to do all the stuff that you don't know how to do. I'm just asking you to be you. Show up. Do you. You know how to be you. And your higher self knows how to be its self. So if you can't figure out how to be the self, talk to that teacher. Okay? You guys, this is going to be a phenomenal year. You are going to receive blessings. The chi is already being dispensed. The universe is like literally paying you for being a light worker. I don't have a better way to say this. It's literally paying you to be a light worker. And it's not paying you for the light work that you are going to do. This is like energetic chi substance that is blessing you this year because of the light worker stuff you've already done. This is the golden parachute retirement package. We're stepping into Funville zone. All this lack that you've ever experienced, it's not because you lacked. The earth was not prepared to receive these frequencies. And in some ways, we needed to feel that. I don't have all the answers on this yet, guys. I'm still coming into these energies. But as I get messages, you know I'm going to give them to you. Okay? But here's what I'm saying. Be abundant. I am that too. Be graceful. I am that too. Be blessed, blessed, beloved, abundant, successful, bright, beautiful, happy human beings. What would make you the happiest? Tell the universe what you desire the most. Just tell it. I want this. I need that. I desire this. Please, please. Without the please, please. Just this is what I want. You got like $10 billion worth of energetic credits coming at you. What do you want to spend it on? Give the universe a couple ideas. If there's something on that list that's not for your highest and best, it will veto it, or it will put it somewhere in time where it's a better timing. Okay? But what do you want the most? And again, I'm not asking the ego. Because if the truth is, I want success. Okay, great. But then the ego will say success is this. You can also have that in the ego, but the way to get it is not by being the ego asking for this. Get into the heart of your higher self. Hone into success itself. I am success too. I am success. It is a vibration. It is a love, a wisdom consciousness substance. Success is a thing. It's a way of being. I am that too. There is no part of me that does not vibrate to that. Doesn't exist. I am that too. I am that. I am that. There's no other thing. I don't even need to say I am that too, because there's no other thing from that space. So now that I know that, now that I am sitting, soaking in the heart of my higher self, in the sanctuary of my love, and I am being success, and I am flooded with success, and the entire universe of my being is being success with me, then it is no thing for the humanity of me to have all success available and manifested and created without lifting a finger. Maybe you might have to follow a guidance, to follow a path, to create a thing, but it is graceful and it's already blessed. It's already blessed. And by the way, from the ego, success does not come from that which you've achieved. The feeling of success. You can talk to some of the most quote unquote successful people in the world, and they're not happy. They want more. And so they create more of the same thing that didn't give them happiness. And that's not the way to happiness. Being successful comes from one thing: following your heart, honoring you, being yourself, never wavering for a second from what the directive of that innermost sacred heart tells you to do. That's success. That's proof that you are courageous. That's proof that you are faithful. That's proof to you that you are loving and bold. That's the proof you need. And the feeling of having honored myself and having followed my path in the direction of my goals and dreams, and then having the results because the universe is going to match my intentions, seeing that there's partnership, that's what breeds success. The money comes, the blessings come, the love life comes. Okay, so whatever it is that you want to create, guys, honor your desires. Follow them like an intuitive GPS. Partner with the universe and your higher self to create that. I've said this 10 million times in about 10 different ways. Are we clear? I am that 2. That power statement spoken from the center of your sacred higher heart is the magic key for this year. Guys, I love you so much. I believe in you so much. I am so happy to connect and build partnerships with you. This is going to be a beautiful year. And I can't wait to see you guys be blessed and loved and happy in ways you can't even fathom right now. I can't wait to see what the universe surprises you with. Not even the universe. I don't even want to blame the universe. I can't wait to see what your higher self surprises you with. Beautiful. Let go of your resistances, guys. Stop resisting your light. Stop resisting your love. Stop resisting yourself. And if there are judgments that other people got in your head, transmute them. Clear the path to self-centeredness, to abundant joy. All right, my loves. Have a wonderful night. Have a beautiful year. Go be happy. I am that too.